All right. Hi. So it is the 8th of July, and it's exactly 11 o'clock. So I'm pretty good when it comes to this time of night. But, yeah. Maybe some leftover fireworks are going on outside. I'm not sure. I was kind of hoping that I was going to hear some, this past week. Yeah, I don't think that's someone shooting. But this past week was Independence Day, and that was real cool. And I didn't go out anywhere. Like, I don't go out, period. But, um, you know, I did try seeing, like, or watching, like, live fireworks online, but I wasn't able to find, like, any. But I was able to hear them from my place, so that was really cool. So that was enough for me. Um, Otherwise, I've, I guess, have decided to continue the celebrations through this weekend. I just feel like a lot was accomplished the past week or so. So, um, plus, I really like celebrations, especially as of late. I think especially starting from my birthday last year, or maybe it was the year before. I think it was the year before. And I don't know, ever since then, it's just been like month-long celebrations, And I figure, why not? I don't know. Just give me a reason to celebrate. Give me a reason for some feast or party or whatever, and all good in the hood. So, today, like I said, is Sunday. So, on Sundays, I try not to do any work. Um, my schoolwork is due on Sundays, but I was able to finish what I had to do early this morning, like around 2 o'clock, because I didn't want to do it today. I wanted to make a video today. So, um, yeah, but it was also really easy to finish the work because one, the class is in what I have an existing degree in. So it's I guess the title of it is Basic Color Theory or Introduction to something like that, and it's basically graphic design work, like in basic Photoshop stuff. See, I'm studying for video game design and development, and that's like characters and 3D modeling and 3D rendering, like creating objects in a 3D piece of software, 3D rendering software, and animation and stuff like that, and environments. So they do like little tiny things when it comes to software, like introduction, when it's like not the 3D stuff, and that's when I can just kind of coast. I was actually thinking of applying to a different university this term, for a grad program, like for a master's degree, and online, because I don't want to go into any campus, and there's only one school near me, and otherwise I'd be traveling like a distance, and I don't want to travel at all. I don't want to leave home. So, but online, like I said it in another video, like it's to a place that has like one of the best reputations in the country, and they're here in my state. But the thing is, like, as a new student, you have to pay a certain amount of money and go through, I guess, like a portfolio submission, and you have to do it by like a certain time, and it's just complicated, like changing universities, and I didn't want to go through that complication. But another thing is that sorry, had to like work that out. But another thing is that I wanted to take the class that I'm in now. So what I would have had to have done at this time was prepare my portfolio, which is like, doesn't have to be all paintings, but the degree in the master's degree that I'm planning on going for, I guess in the future, is a master's of fine art with a concentration in painting. And now that I'm talking about it online, I think the best option is to go ahead and take the classes that I'm enrolled in now, and the ones that are coming up are like, I think mythology, and it's like the writing. So they're going into like one class about mythology and one class of creative writing. I'm in like a design kind of class now, and I think 2 more, because my advisor plans out my terms like 6 terms in advance. So and the last 2 are both 3-dimensional classes, so I think that'd be cool. I wasn't able to finish the 3-dimensional class that I was in last term because my hardware couldn't support the software. Like, I have a 32-bit system, 32-bit operating system, and the software requires 64-bit. Pretty much anything 3-dimensional, even rendering 3D work or rendering work into like 3D form in Photoshop, I'm not able to do it. Like in my software, Photoshop just grays out that area, and you're like, why isn't this working? Like, I tried to do this really fresh ass tutorial on YouTube for like a certain 3D Photoshop project, just so I could go through all the steps. And you know, this is after I tried something similar that my professor gave to the class as like my nose is itchy. I used something new on my face, and you can tell like I'm red versus like not red. Like, I'm a little bit tan for the summer, but this little, I don't know, when I come in close, you can't tell as much, but the stuff that I have on my face is making my nose itch. And I'm a little off topic right now, but I try to do different makeup. I always look like the same, but I really do try to wear more makeup when I'm going to like come and say hi. But first, I'm not really good at heavy makeup, and that's something I'm trying to work harder on, like to do something that makes me look like different. But sorry, I have to itch my nose, like I just can't resist. But like, I tried something else that's new. I'm also going through my makeup to try to figure out like what is the ultimate best stuff and what is like okay. And other seasons when I don't have a tan, this is usually too dark, but now I'm just seeing that it's dark, period, you know, like it just turns me red. And I don't like that, because look at my, see the it's like, I don't know, I don't like it, but that's just how it goes. And I usually don't feel the itchiness until I get in front of a camera. Like when I first put it on, I'm like, hold on, I have something. Okay, I had some like facial spray. So it's pretty much like water, but maybe it'll take some of the dusty feels off my nose and my face. But anyway, so back to the 3D stuff. Like, I basically figured out the hard way. Like when I was in another class, you know, my professor gave like a tutorial, and then I called Adobe, or at least got on their customer support online, and they were like, yeah, this is the problem. And I figured it out also with another kind of software that I was trying to install, and when I went to install it, it would appear as like what was available to install, but once I got into actually trying, it just wouldn't go. And basically it was saying, hey, we're here, just your system can't deal. So one thing that I'll probably do in the near future is invest in a new computer, because this computer is relatively new. It's just I bought it for the processor, and I didn't really care about how many bits the operating system was, because if I buy a new if I buy a modern processor, the thing can last me like years, especially like on a ThinkPad. So I've only had like 3 laptops in the past 15 years, and they all like last forever. So they're all ThinkPads. So, and what I found is that what phases them out is the processor. And I guess in the beginning, I didn't really have the option of using like really heavily 3D software, because that was in the late 90s, early 2000s. So it's just how it goes. But what I'm thinking is just go ahead and take all of these classes, and then go into the process of applying to the other school. Because right now I'm studying for a second bachelor's, and the other one is a master's. So, and I think I'd like a master's. So, you know, it's kind of like posh and bourgeois, but I think it'd also be kind of cool. But ultimately, I'd like to see what being in school for painting would be like, because, you know, when I started going to school, I started, you know, and ended kind of corporate. I started in programming, then went to computer information systems, and then ended up in graphic design, because I always felt like I needed a corporate job. But if it was up to me, I would have been in painting to begin with. But I didn't think that you could make money as a painter. I always was under the influence that you needed a corporate degree, and you know, I really wasn't even in school to get a job. You know, I never wanted to be a graphic designer. I figured as a painter I would have to hire a graphic designer, so I wouldn't have to hire anybody, so, you know, I would just get the degree. But that's the old school story, that's old school situation. So still painting now, have ideas. So, and I'm not being as hard on myself, and I think that's a pretty good feeling. I'm not tripping, you know, like I just have ideas with what to do next. Before, I was kind of frustrated that I wasn't seeing the end result that I wanted. The end result wasn't bad, it just wasn't what I wanted. And now that I'm in the, you know, beginning stages of starting a new painting, I haven't started it yet, but I have the drawing, and it's the most recent one on my Instagram page, and I really like the drawing. It's really significant to me. So now I'm thinking about how I'm going to start that painting, and it's a different beginning approach than I've taken with anything recent, and that has been enough for me to be satisfied, you know. Thinking like of a new technique to go into this new painting with. So otherwise, I've been working on like a new sketching kind of style, but and I think that's been going well. I've been trying to incorporate things that I usually don't incorporate into my drawings, so I think that's been working. So I'm happy with that. I have an idea of combining digital work and traditional work, and I haven't started on that yet, but I have the idea for it, and I'm looking forward to starting that. So so that's pretty good. I've what I've learned is that I'm satisfied as long as there's growth. And artistically, if I have an idea that might lead to me doing a better job and having a better end result, then fundamentally I'm satisfied. It's when I haven't had, I'm sorry, I have a really itchy nose. Oh, there. But it helped the first time. but yeah, I think before I just wasn't thinking about the next piece. I was thinking about how dissatisfied I was with the current piece, and thinking about like exercises of doing better with realistic kind of things, because like with realism you can just do a study or sketch and practice that way, but like the concept of the art, like how is this all going to come together, it just wasn't like making the cut, you know. And I think now that I've chilled overall in my life a little bit, I still freak out a little bit, but you know, I've made progress. But I think overall just not tripping has helped. Oh gosh. Okay, and I guess another thing I'll bring up is like world events and stuff. It's like when you start to see more, you start to like notice the truth more. And what I've noticed is that the lies in politics are starting to catch up with themselves, you know? It's like certain people are, you know, their health is one way, and then other people are in office and a lot of truths in other offices are getting exposed, and you see a lot of bickering. You see more bickering now than you ever have, and basically it's just turned into like this thing where everyone's like pointing fingers at each other and like talking about how bad of a job that they're doing. And what's funny is that like in some aspects they've been doing a bad job all along, you know. It's like all these years of lies and games and, you know, bringing up one thing to hide another. I feel as if it's all surfacing, but what's funny is like the public isn't really catching on. Like, I'll give one example that's directly connected to somebody. I was trying to avoid like any direct mentionings of people, but a certain phrase of fake news was brought up in current months or years. But the thing is, everything has been fake news since the beginning, you know? It's like, and now you hear people saying fake news, hashtag fake news, and it's just like, what? Okay, I'm back again. So I was gone for a second, and yeah, but the fake news situation, like, it's like, it exposes where we are as a country, and maybe even in the world, where we are politically, for news and, for news and media to get called out for being like bootleg and fake and stuff like that. I mean, does that kind of show where we are, like, politically, like our position? Because I feel like fake news has been around since like the beginning of news, beginning of publication. Like, I don't know. One example is like how the Rockefellers got, I say Rockefeller because I think that whole record label situation like just got me saying it wrong, but the Rockefellers, like from what I understand, they got their wealth off of gimmicks, like in the very beginning, I think that they were selling some medicine that was quoted as doing one thing, but it was bootleg and it wasn't doing anything. And then I think from there, with, I don't know if it was oil or something like that, but something that needed barrels, right? And to snub out their competition, they just bought all the oil barrels that were available so no one else could compete against them. I mean, I think that might be good and everything, but the news, from what I understand, reported on them being this credible company. But from what I understand even further, from my experience and from my knowledge, it was never publicized or made into news that they were jipping people, So, and that was like a late situation, but that's like a major situation, but still. But anyway, I guess that's just how it goes. Like, I don't know how much of, I guess I do know, but part of me still takes people's, and I mean people by medicines and anybody that's in the world, I take any of their opinions as like it counts or something like that. And I'm just getting to a point of practicing like the realization of their opinions not counting, and it's kind of isolating, right? Like it's like all of a sudden your like community is knocked down to like 2 people pretty much, and I don't know. So I guess that's just how it goes. But moving on, what I was working on when I was gone, and I'm going to try to get this to register here. Oh, it's me. But yeah, so it's just something kind of fun. It's like a pirate kind of theme, and yeah. So right now I'm just kind of like working on lines like that, and I'm trying to, I don't know, I'm trying to really, to be honest, just put in a whole bunch of shit into one drawing. No, I'm not really, but sometimes my drawings are very barren. I'll put like one thing and feel like I'm done, and know that I'm done, like, because I guess it's up to me to, make up or come to the verdict, come to the realization, or make the decision, the ultimate executive decision of whether I'm done or not. And I see, a blank page and just one thing, and I'm pretty happy with that, and now I'm just trying to work on multiple things in one area, and I've been kind of happy with that, and it's been pretty interesting, different layers and I guess focal points or vantage points, like how the distance away from the viewer that a particular thing within a composition is, sizes of different things, and decorating the clothes and putting accessories in and stuff like that. That's been pretty fun. One thing that I'm also thinking of working on is like a webtoon series. Like, webtoons is like free source, I guess, comics that come out every week, and you have like a big community of people that rate them. They have a contest going on now for new ones, but like I'm not really into the competition part of things, but it is a cool incentive. It feels like you're going into like some kind of like, like I said before, like the celebration kind of thing, and like an event, but I've also been interested in making a comic, and the style of this comic is digital, and it is a horizontal scroll. So it's just like frame and frame, and then you scroll, and then it just goes down and down and down. So that's interesting. That's an interesting format. I've tried making comics before, and I've had ideas for them, so I figured that this might be a cool way to try again. So I don't know. Hopefully I can make time for it, I don't know. I want to say that I can. I just have to manage my time better, I think. Like I really have to get disciplined in working on it every day, and I think I've tried incorporating other things into my day to work on every day. So now it's like, okay, fitting this in, which is more of a challenge because the digital aspect is challenging, and but I think it can be done, so we'll see how that goes. But otherwise, I think that's that, Another thing is bullet journals. I'm gonna continue. Well, I guess I am gonna start, but I just have new topics. Like I started a bullet journal like a few months ago, and that went kind of cool. But now I have more specific things. I think that my life has gotten more structured. Like I've gotten more streamlined in the work that I've been, attempting, and the work that I've been doing and working on and stuff like that. So I think that it's a good time to categorize everything, and a bullet journal is just basically like monitoring what you do every day for like an extended amount of time. Could be a month. Most of the time it's more than a month. So I don't know. We'll see. But on that note, I'm going to continue with this drawing and see how that goes, and yeah, continue just having a cool Sunday. It is exactly 12. I started at exactly 11, and now it's exactly 12. So on that note, I'll say bye, and we'll talk to you soon. Promise. Bye.